Hi guys, welcome to another beer review. Got another beer from Mikkeller, and this was brewed for the festival that has been created by Mikkeller along with Dessner, Bryce Dessner, and Klaus Meyer. And as I'm recording this, I think the second day of the festival is in full flow. And by the time you're seeing this, of course, it will be over. But I think this was its first year, and Mikkeller brewed a beer for the festival. So this is Haven, which is of course what the festival is called. And I'm going to put a link down below, as well as Mikkeller and all that sort of stuff, to the Haven website, which I think is actually the Danish word for garden. What a nice word. But I'm sure it's pronounced a little bit differently. And so you can check that out. There's a trailer for it on YouTube. Really interesting concept. Bring in music, art, food, and beer. Really celebrating what's going on in Copenhagen. I think it's built in an industrial area, which always appeals to me. And it's a 2 day festival, and it just looks and sounds fantastic. I've been watching Mikkeller's Instagram stories. Been really getting into Instagram stories recently. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen me doing my interpretation of an Insta story. I never seem to use these social platforms the way they're intended to. I always dick around with them, but yeah, it sounds like a fantastic festival to me in an absolutely wonderful location. And of course, Copenhagen just is. I so want to visit that city. But if I do visit that city, I probably wouldn't want to leave because it just sounds like a Peter city. It really, really does. So, what is this beer then? Well, it's been described as a Pilsner style beer in a 500ml can, clocking in at 4.6%. And of course, got this in the Mikkeller Beer Mail, which, as always with these Mikkeller reviews that are related to this one, I'm going to put my referral link down below. So if you're interested in it, if any of these beers that I've shown have piqued your interest, you can get yourself 25% off a box of your own. I think you can get one of their higher tier and more exclusive boxes. So if that is your thing, then click that link down below. And of course, it helps me out a little bit. So yeah, fantastic artwork. I love the logo for it. It's very Peter Saville, and yeah, just a phenomenally designed can. Mikkeller, known for their absolutely wonderful artistry in general, whether it's the design on the bottle, can, the one of the many bars that are opening, or the beer itself. They've got such a strong brand identity. And from my somewhat limited experience, they've been spot on. And I've been really enjoying what I've been drinking so far from this Mikkeller beer mail. And I do like a good lager and a good pilsner. So I'm excited to see which direction they're going with this one. So I'm not sure if this beer was available at the festival itself. I know they had, obviously, it was a beer festival within a bigger festival. And from what I've seen, they've had some interesting beers available. But I'm not sure if this one was as well. Which would make sense. So it's easy to drink. Not going to get you too buzzed. So you can appreciate the music, the art, and of course the food. Another exciting aspect of the festival. So I won't pour it all in because I've got an itchy nose. But yeah, I won't pour it all in because I need to get this nose in the glass to see what we get on the aroma. But in terms of the look, golden, straw-like in appearance. It does have some hop haze in there. A nice little faint cloud of haze in the middle of the glass. Lovely carbonation. Beer poured with about 2 fingers worth of a white head. Looks nice and compact, foamy, almost creamy as well in places. It's amazing how different head on a beer can look from beer to beer, and even sometimes depending on how you pour it, how it can look. But yeah, that sure does look like a nice glass of beer so far. 500 ml can, you can't go wrong. So let's see what we get on the aroma. And when you smell it, to me, it smells more like a pale ale. Yeah, lovely sort of like citrusy, slightly tropical hoppy tones coming through. Not too sure what hops they've used in this one. But yeah, you do get that slight faint crisp Pilsner malt character coming through. So it's not abused with hops in terms of the aroma. Because you know me by now, I do enjoy a good Pilsner and lager. And unless you state that it's like a hoppy Pilsner or lager and then I drink it and it just tastes like a pale ale, I'm like, just release a pale ale and release a different, like, just brew a lager as a lager, brew a Pilsner as a Pilsner. I'm all for experimenting, I'm all for evolution. That's how we've come to this point with craft beer and one of the many other industries and art forms. But I do like a good old fashioned drink every now and then. But this, yeah, it is predominantly hoppy. But you still get that slight aspect of a Pilsner, and I find you get a really nice citrus character in a good, let's say, German style Pilsner. So it's not drifting too far, so alarm bells aren't ringing yet, but we shall see what it actually tastes like. Speaking of which, let's get it devoured. Cheers. And yeah, it's definitely a Pilsner. It's light, it's crisp, it's clean, it's thirst quenching. Such a crushable, easy drinking beer. I'd say you get more of the actual hop character on the back end and in the general bitterness. It's not a really like hoppy tasting beer. I mean, you do get like the flavours of hops in there. Maybe some very slight tropical fruit tones, a little bit of a lemon lime sort of vibe, maybe a hint of orange in there. But then you get that crisp, almost grainy malt character coming through. So thankfully, well, I'm not crossing my fingers because I'm giving you the answer. Thankfully, this isn't one of those beers where it's like, what have you done to this beer? You've destroyed a beautiful style. I think this one that it's perfect for a festival. It's not just another Pilsner, but at the same time, it's not drifted too far away and becoming a bastardized version of a Pilsner. It's definitely one, you could have a couple of pints of this, or maybe a little bit of a bar crawl, that sort of thing. And yeah, within the context of a food, art, and music festival, and beer festival, of course, it's hitting the spot. It really, really is. Let's get the rest of it in. Just going to pour it aggressively. There we go. Yeah, I really like that actually. Is it the best Pilsner I've ever had? I don't think so. Definitely high quality beer. It's got its own little personality. And I can't cement enough how satisfied I am that it pays homage to the style, but has enough character and enough personality in terms of the use of hops. The hops are used somewhat sparingly, they're noticeable, this American hop character, but at its core, it's a nice, crisp, refreshing light Pilsner. And yeah, not a bad beer at all. So in terms of rating then, for the Haven from Mikkeller. I'm going to give that a very solid 8 out of 10. I'm happy that it comes in a 500ml can. I do enjoy craft beer coming in 500ml bottles and cans, as opposed to the regular 330. And I mean, for a beer like this, you would want a little bit more, as opposed to, like, well, are you really going to say no to a 500ml can of a really nice New England IPA? You know, it's one of those things. Yeah, it's got it all. It's striking design. For some reason, it reminds me of like Canadian craft beer. No idea why I'm associating that look with Canadian craft beer. And yeah, it's definitely got me interested in this festival. So I'm going to be putting all those links down below, as well as the usual ones. So yeah, I'm going to be making pizza in a little while, homemade pizza. This is one of those beers that's going to pretty much go with every cuisine. And yeah, it's a nice, lightly hoppy pilsner that's a little bit different, but doesn't stray too far away from one of my personal favourite styles. And of course, reviewing is subjective anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, if you get a chance to try it, definitely do so. If you have tried it, of course, give me your thoughts, opinions down below. Are you a fan of these, excuse me, hoppy pilsners and hoppy lagers, basically craft lagers and pilsners? Are you a fan of them? Are you of my opinion, where, you know, I don't like when they go too far, or do you like it when they push the boundaries with this sort of beer? Anyway, I'm waffling on massively, so I'm going to leave it there. If anyone I know here on YouTube has reviewed this, of course the reviews are down below. Check out Mikkeller, check out Haven, check out my Mikkeller playlist, and of course if you want to get yourself 25% discount on your own box, then yeah, check out that link as well. So, thank you guys for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers.